was listening.
Oh, you blew my kiss.
That's not pleasant at all.
You waved it my way.
I shouldn't have waved it that way.
I'm gonna go this up here. Although it will come up.
The backdraft will pull it back towards the top.
Salmon.
Anybody like to enjoy a?
You're smelling.
We're getting those now.
Oh, Michael, your guitar enjoys it.
Baptized by fire.
Wait, is the opening shot? Ask Shaz if the opening shot was those.
Hey, Shaz, what's the opening shot for?
We'll pass
Later?
it on in the show.
Okay, well I'm gonna.
But Michael needs his before because he's if Charters would like one too. Well, if anyone else
Cheers to you guys later.
Oh,
we don't want to ruin the shot.
down the hatch.
Can I light it sideways?
Give it a double tap.
That's a soldier down.
It shows what's happening. Bum, bum, bum. Guys, 300 show, 0 viewers. People could care less about this program.
Perfect.
Well, nothing's changed.
We jumped
This
the shark.
is something we built over 300 weeks, is that no one really cares. They've all lost interest and gone to bed.
They've gone to slumber.
Yeah. We're going to have to do. This is exactly. The only thing that ruins it is that my friends AJ and Joe came. And because
ruins it?
otherwise, yeah, it does kind of. Because it was more comedic if no one cared, you know.
You got 3 people that came. Beaver 4.
And Beaver, 4
Susan.
people. Yeah.
Beaver go home already.
Hi, Susan B.
I let her know we were streaming now. It's probably her.
Welcome to our program.
That doesn't matter. Those are still listeners.
Covered in whiskey.
Oh, yeah. This way.
Old
That's
whiskey
a
night.
glide.
That's what she said.
Whiskey throat. Remember that?
We made a song.
Just a kid from the neighborhood. We're all kids from the neighborhood. Take me back to 96. I fell asleep with the radio on and turned my pillow to the fresh side. Fall asleep on the sleepy eyes. I don't dream big, just the right size. Modesty comes from my mom's side. You ever heard of a soft touch? You ever heard of a finger roll? Little sun, little raindrop. And you watch this thing grow. Follow me like a firefly. At midnight or mid-July. Mix of blood, sweat, and tears of joy. That's what I call a rowdy cry. Like a dog on a bone. I got gas in the day to go all night. Got gas in the day to go all night. Relentless. We don't walk alone. Relentless. Yeah, time to get to work now. Let's get going. I was restless. Soul was spinning. Feel the fate. I met a man with a tattoo in the shape of his home state. Said the past was complicated, both born and celebrated. Take a minute, take a fascinator, right here, right now, and you're liberated. Like a dog on a bone. We got gas in the day to go all night. Got gas in the day to go all night. Relentless. We don't walk alone. Relentless. It's time to get to work now. Let's get going. You call my name from the front porch, and I come running home to you. You call my name, and I keep running, 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 running. I'm just a kid from the neighborhood. We're all kids from the neighborhood. Take me back to 96. I fell asleep with the radio on. Then come in the daylight. I woke up saying it's about time. Take a good, the bad, and the hot time. That's one more time for the good times. Relentless. Like a dog on the bone. Got gas in the tank, go all night. Got gas in the tank, go all night. Relentless.
gentlemen, welcome to the bowels of Spiky Ball Studios. We're live from the Dutch Hall. It's the host of the show for the 300th episode. It's your two-time President's Club Award winner. It's Pete Van Dyke, folks.
Oh, listen to that round of applause, Joe. It's definite. And welcome everybody to the 300th episode of Live from the Dutch Hall. We are Canada's only live-to-air late-night talk show and the greatest podcast ever come out of Bullshit in Pine Grove, Ontario. Bar none. And I'll tell you why. It's because of these guys right sitting to my left. The Nocturnal Emissions, the greatest band in Canadian late-night history. Let's hear it for them. This week, the band's comprised of my good buddy, my cousin, our band leader, Michael Bow on rhythm and vocals.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Beside him, split the duty of rhythm and vocals, that's the man that writes the music for the show, the Rooster, Dan Charter.
Thank you, Peter. Hello, everybody.
In the corner, that's the man that's made us sound so sweet. He's done so much for our show, but he also is the man that tickles the skins. He's our CRTC required Frenchman, the French tickler, Ken Belange, everybody. And taking the place of my dear sweet Wes Higgins, my favorite one of all. We have the greatest replacement ever. The balls of the Nocturnal Emission tonight, Brandon McIntosh, everyone. And playing lead guitar in the corner, hiding from the light like some sort of vampire. That's Steve, the reluctant German, everyone. And our guests tonight, they have surprises for our 300th episode. We have a long-time friend of the show, AJ Bate, everybody. And a guy who has been probably on the show more than any other guest. I don't know, except for maybe Shazma. It's a close call. But one of the most controversial guests in Live from the Dutch Hall history. Joe Bathello's here, everyone. And my brother. Sherry, it rhymes like. And also back again, her second time in the Dutch Hall. From Go Home Joe podcast, it's Sherry. Oh yeah, initial, Sherry T. And my brother, don't forget him, he's our bartender tonight. That's Paul Van Dyke, everyone. We got a great show, let's get this 300th one started.
Let's do it.
All right, we did it, guys.
That's it.
Nailed the opener again. You're on a real streak, fellas.
It's like we did that
A
before.
real streak. It's like you've done it. It's like all of a sudden, I think,
We figured it out.
yeah, you graduated to something a little bit different, haven't you?
Yeah.
You're special all of a sudden. You know, you've grown into your britches.
I'm good enough. I'm smart enough. And gosh darn it, people like me.
Yeah, they love the Nocturnal Emissions out there. Don't like the rest of the show. It's garbage after
Shutting it off right now.
Yeah, right now is when most people go night-night because they don't want to listen to me for a fucking hour. But tonight is different. Everybody's going to be, there's probably 2 or 3 people right now that are doing it. Tonight, actually, my friends, AJ Bate and Joe Bathello and Sherry G, but to a lesser extent because I've only met you once before.
But he'll take
And,
it. Take it.
but these 3 people, as well as Derek the Beaver Van Houten, who was called by a horrible kill alarm.
Oh, really? Is that what happened?
That was a horrible kill alarm. You should have seen the
damn
look
it,
on his face.
That's my
It went
worst
from pure
nightmare.
pleasure. He's in the middle of his peak season of harvest. He's got all the pressures of the world on him, you know? New baby at home, like just in the peak season of work, you know? And he says 300, this is important for my buddy Pete. He's coming here, and then when he comes here, his face lights up like Christmas morning. You can see Beaver so excited to be able to drink a few beers maybe, have a couple cigarettes, and then like talk farming with his buddy Mike, you know?
Had a nice talk.
Compare
before.
notes.
Yep.
Oh, he was having a ball.
More cigarettes than beers, I would say.
Yeah, he loves the cigarettes.
Pork
This time of
industry.
year, it gets him through, eh? Like, I don't judge the fella, you know? It's how he,
Drive him into you.
it's how he deals with things. So then Beaver gets this kill alarm. All of a sudden, things changed in his face. He went from
I don't think people understand that is like, that's my worst nightmare right now.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
that
like,
kill alarm is the worst thing that could happen.
you know what that was like? It was like if you went to a bachelor party with your friends, and you're having a great time, and you're seeing an act, like a stripper act that you never seen. She's shooting ping pong balls out of whatever. It's like Velcro to your forehead or whatever it's sticking, and all of a sudden your cell phone goes off, and then it's your wife saying she found a lump. Yeah, you know? It was kind of like that.
Similar feeling.
Similar face is what I would imagine.
Yeah, it sucks big time. You're fucked.
Yes, you are fucked. So anyways, poor Beaver's not here, but I had 3 people show an interest in 300 weeks of our work and efforts here. And I got to tell you, that's more than I expected. That's 3 more than I expected. I actually had everything written to be a horrible disaster where nobody cared. And now 3 people care.
We love you so much. We love you. I love you.
So it's not as funny when people love me, Joe, is what I'm trying to say.
I hate you so.
Thank you, Joe.
There we go.
Did you notice the picture of you that we hang in the hall all the time now? It's right behind Kevin. I don't know. You may have to take a gander later on in the show. It is your picture over there. They were allowed to hang one of those 2 pictures of you that I had on the wheel prior. And
You do the other one. You just got rid of the other
it's
one?
in the garbage, yeah.
Oh,
Recycled. We recycled it.
I thought you'd put it in the archives in the shed. In the
No.
archives.
Oh, no, there's no value to it. Yeah. It's just throwing out. That one, or on the other hand,
I like
there's
that
a real street value for that one, a black market, if you will, value.
On show. I like
Yeah.
that. It's
Kids will make it so they go around concerts with a big stick, so they can. It's got a No Joe sign, and you're
College
like,
football games, I saw a couple.
"Did you see those?"
Yeah, behind
And
the
I go,
announcers.
"Oh, that's
Sorry.
not the one,
I
But
think
if they
it's
could
popping
ever,
up in the Conservative Party rallies too.
No Joe.
Yeah, no Joe.
Oh.
No immigration. That's what I saw. Yeah. It's a picture they're using.
Do you think? Do they think you're an immigrant because?
Yeah,
of
they
your,
think I'm Mexican. They think I'm here picking tobacco with you guys.
AJ.
bullshit.
Fair enough.
Pass that mic to AJ for a second. I have a question for him. AJ, okay, you known Joe for a while, right?
Yeah, I do actually.
And you come from a country, Libya,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And you are considered, when you come to our country, for some reason, not white. Is that right?
For some reason, yes, you're right.
I think you look every bit as white as anyone else. And then this fella here,
Yeah,
Joe,
He looks Arab, right?
he's not white, I'll tell you that.
No, not for sure. Absolutely not. No.
Absolutely not white.
Fuck you, white people.
And Portuguese people will consider themselves white all over the place.
But they're not
Right.
really white. Yeah.
No, it's something different, right?
No, it's
What about a Spaniard? A guy from Spain?
Yeah, that would be.
Is he white?
Be like
olive skinned, you know?
sexy,
like
sexy
Antonio
white,
Banderas.
What about a Greek? What about like an Italian,
Portuguese are white. We're white. We
I don't
gave
think you
the
all
ships to the guy that came over.
The guy that came over.
the
The
guy
guy
that
that
came
discovered
over.
America. Some
the guy that gave us Thanksgiving. What's that
Were
guy's name?
were Libyans the
Christopher
Moors?
Columbus?
The what?
Were
Christopher
the
Columbus,
Libyans
that's-
the Moors? You remember the Moors? You ever heard of the Moors?
Moors like in like the store. Moors.
S'mores?
No, Moor. The Moors. You know the Moors? You got anyone else here know the Moors? Anyone know history?
Moorish.
Moorish. They came up and they conquered and they moved
Pete
a lot.
knows so much about Libya, it amazes me. Every time I come here, I think Libya's the most talked about country on this podcast.
I'm fascinated. I'm fascinated.
It baffles me.
I tag it on
Germany's a
every
close
episode too. Libya. I
Germany's
tag
like
it.
we're competing against Germany. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
That
That's not
first-
bad.
That first episode you were on, AJ, where you were trying to talk about comedy, he's like, anyways, about Gaddafi again. Let's talk about.
Yeah.
It's like the whole time he was trying to talk about comedy. All you
Yeah,
talk
I
about
know a
was
lot of
Libya.
people that do comedy. I don't know anyone that's lived in Libya.
That's very true.
Not one person.
That's very true.
That makes sense. It's your show. You talk
Yeah.
about what you want. I get it.
Yeah, no offense. AJ is a great comic. He just had a nice tour across the Atlantic Canada
Joe
with
ruined-
you too,
Joe
Joe.
ruined
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
Yeah, Joe ruined it, but it was.
I didn't
still-
ruin anything. I didn't ruin anything. I was fully clothed the whole time.
Can I say how just really quickly like
Yes.
how what his performance was? Can I say, Joe?
It was amazing. Yeah.
So we all did 15
One
minutes.
show. It was one
Okay,
show.
don't interrupt me, please. We all did 15-minute sets. People loved him for the first 5 minutes, and then afterwards, you were like, God damn, it like went downhill. Which is like really how people react to him in real life.
I was gonna say, what a surprise!
Like people like Joe for the first 5 minutes, and then after it's like, this guy is really not nice at all. It's pretty much.
That was one show. That was one show.
All right, times 3, but whatever. Yeah.
Do you think that sometimes that Joe hears the laughter different than you do?
Oh yeah, I'm convinced of that.
Laughter's laughter. What the hell are you
I'm like,
talking about?
Joe,
Laughter's laughter.
that's an uncomfortable laughter. It's like, well, they laughed. I'm like, I know the difference, man.
Why would I know about uncomfortable laughter if I make people laugh from joy? I've never made people uncomfortably laugh like you do.
Well, I just want to know how come when you make them laugh, they always look for the exits, like they're laughing and looking for a way
They're
out.
looking for the washroom to change their underwear because I made them pee themselves.
That's a good
Thank
save,
you.
Joe. I like it. Yeah, it's absolutely false, but it's actually.
AJ, how many standing ovations you get in tour? How many standing ovations?
Oh.
0. How many did I get? 0. Thank you.
Very nice.
Fair enough.
See, that's why you have Joe back. That was very funny. Don't you guys agree? Yeah. You've been so hard on the
was pretty
nocturnal
good,
emissions.
Joe.
Don't bully them into laughing,
Did you
Pete.
see?
Come on.
Last time they were just very salty with Joe. Last time the band was very salty with Joe. So I don't want anyone to leap at him on our big celebration of 300 episodes. So I did want to just make sure
Positive vibes.
positive vibes, eh,
I love
guys?
you. I love the nocturnal emissions. You guys are amazing. That was great.
Yeah, they don't need that, Joe.
Yeah.
They find that to be just kissing ass.
All right.
And it makes them more angry, eh? Is that true, guys? Makes you more angry. You're lucky Wes isn't here.
I wish
He would already
I wish
left
Charters
at you.
wasn't here. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Oh, awesome. A real fan of the
Yeah, I
show.
wish he wasn't here.
Thank you, Joe. Anyways, what was I saying before I talked to our guests there? We were talking about 300 episodes. Nobody cares. And then I was saying, but these guys care, and they're here tonight, and we're going to talk to you later in the show about a lot of things. And I got a game to end the show that we can all play,
All right.
which was written by accident by Steve, Brandon, and myself.
Perfect.
Yes.
Well done, boys.
And so we're going to have, first of all, we're going to have a celebration, guys. You ready? What we have is, and I gotta say, this is 300th episode, and what we do every week for 300 weeks has always been to listen to our listeners in a segment we call Feedback. We got feedback. But this week, we're not gonna wait for that segment to get to a segment we call Check In with the Cookie Lady.
Oh.
Or what is it? But before you play it, Mike, shut your goddamn mouth.
No words?
Susan B says she likes Dave's lyrics
Okay.
better than yours.
All right, Susan, no problem.
And I'm just saying for the first one, run through, out of respect for the work that this lady does, you keep your foul mouth shut.
Hey,
You let
it's
Charter-
all Dave.
You let Charles sing a sweet,
You know
sweet
what? We
lyrics.
alternated on the opener. It's all Dave now.
What do we got? Can you give me a hint about what we got as inspiration?
All right, that's a fair thing because Dave, you like to write it based on the tree.
Cream puff.
Is it because I say pussy clot?
It is also she doesn't like bumbleclot. She doesn't like rasclot.
None of the clots.
She knows all those words.
She doesn't like no pussy clot, no all the clots. No charters clot. She said charters clot even was
Even
wrong.
charter's clot.
She doesn't like any of the
It's all you,
clots.
Dave. You're on deck, bud.
One time you said cookie clot. What does that mean?
What is a
Cookie clot.
It's a made-up clot.
That does make you not want to eat the cookies.
Your turn, Dave.
Your turn, Dave.
All right. Why don't you let us know what we got? What's on the tray? Kevin, what is it? It's got something stuck in it.
Do you know what's on the tray? It's a cream
those,
puff. Show it to Dave. Show it to Dave. Bring it around.
Are your lyrics based on the what you're
Yeah,
giving?
it is all based on. He's on the cuff. This is what he means. This is what he's doing.
Are those little cupcakes?
Dead air is what it is, Pete. You know what I like to do?
Yeah.
Oreos,
Off
oh,
the
yeah.
cuff.
Yeah, you know what you like
make
to
it
do
work.
is just fucking do it, right?
do it,
Unlike
damn
Dave. All right, you ready?
Oh yeah.
All right. This is really
mini
like
cheesecake.
How
suffering.
long it takes?
Oh yeah.
Put him on the spot.
Susie, we really love your cookies, Susie B. Cookies. We got some cream puffs and cheesecake. Take it, Paul.
Cheesecake. We got some cheesecake and cream puff. Love this.
Take it, Polly.
We love the cheesecake.
fucking good.
Yeah, it's the bridge. Can we do the clots for the bridge?
Pass one around. That ain't-
All the clots,
I
pussy
really
clot,
want to
charters
taste-
clot.
I want to taste a cookie
Not the clot girl.
or maybe a
Oh,
cheese.
no, thank you for the Dutch. But I'm going to take this one here. 'Cause this guy.
Gonna take a cream puff.
I'm gonna take an Oreo as well.
I'm
Now-
gonna
Thanks,
eat
Susie.
it all in
So-
one big bite.
I got to tell you, every week, and this is, I don't know how long Susan B has been doing this cookie treat for.
I'm actually shaking. I'm so excited.
This is the truth. She does not know the impact she's had on all of us, guys. We do this week after week for nothing, for basically no one, for zero reward.
No audience, too.
Yeah, no audience, no adulation.
What is this, a John
Just
Lennon
the
song?
scorn of the general public, the shame that's
No
in
one
their
cares.
eyes, you know? And then, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a person from heaven above decides to take it upon herself to make it like her mission or something to give these jackholes some of the most delicious treats that they've ever tasted in their whole life, you know?
There. Thank you, Susie.
And
Delicious.
you look at the tear in Dave's eye sometimes when he just smells it, you know? Because this dirty prick is fat as fuck. He'll eat anything.
I wish we had smell-o-vision. So all you listeners could enjoy this as much as I am right now.
Jordan, you got a nice tight shot of Dave smelling that
I
thing?
think it's.
Oh,
he like
yeah.
shoves it in his mustache and then it
Let's take a
stays.
bite.
Yeah, that's what he likes to do because afterwards he then just like can just lick the mustache and get a little bit of extra taste.
Come on.
Oh my God.
When Dave licks his mustache, he's like remembering past meals, you know. He just like licks it and mashed potatoes. When did I have that?
Well, I hope this lingers in my mustache for days. It's so good. Did you guys have a cream puff? Who had a cream puff? Raise your hand.
So there were cream puffs and mini cheesecakes.
Oh,
I had cheesecake. Delicious.
I had both.
thanks, Susan.
You know,
I was gonna have both.
you know what I think is hilarious about Charters and really all you guys, even when it comes to cookies, the show becomes secondary. Like, fuck the show.
Yeah.
It's like I'm eating a cookie. This is great. Charters is happy to have dead chewing air.
And the
then just
listeners
go,
are gone.
Hey, yeah. It has nothing to do with the listeners at all. You just like come in here every Thursday to get drink my beer and eat Susan B's treats. Is that true, Dave?
Yeah, give me a cheesecake, Jane.
By the way, when the concept of this show started 300 weeks ago, there was only me and whatever guest I could have, and then I decided my brother, out of pity, right, Paul? It was only out of pity. You decided that you would come down and just like watch the show or help with the show. And then I decided to come up with a role for you. We came with the role of bartender because I couldn't go serve myself a drink during the show because I couldn't get up or whatever. So you would get up and get me a drink, right? So I called you the bartender.
Yeah, it seemed like a great excuse to get out of the house every Thursday.
Yeah, and at the time, at the beginning, really, you didn't mind getting me a beer, right?
Yeah. I was never a fan of it.
Yeah, it was maybe like one or two during the show at most you would pass me, and otherwise, I'd figure out a way to get it.
Well, I thought there was a difference between a bartender and a waitress.
Yeah, there
I
is.
didn't know I had to do both jobs.
So if I ordered a beer, let me just get this straight. If I ordered a beer, what part do you do?
I would take it out of the fridge and take the top off.
Oh, well, that's also something.
Set it on the bar.
And wherever that bar is, I would have to go to and get it.
Yeah.
Even if I'm doing a show. Which is
Or a waitress.
okay, or a waitress. No, I understand. Now, with a vodka soda like I'm drinking now, right? Like you wouldn't have any part of that, or would you? Because you've never made me one of these.
No, you do it
Since I've been
yourself.
drinking vodka sodas, which has been a year, because since I had cancer,
I've
right?
made zero.
You've made zero of these for me.
Yeah.
And you are still, that's why I reluctantly call you my bartender. You are like my announcer now, maybe. You do that when you come, and you do it well, Paul.
It's like Rod.
I actually
was it
think-
Rod Roddy from Price is Right?
Rod Roddy. Paul's like my Rod Roddy, yeah. I'm like Bob Barker. He's like Rod Roddy, eh?
Rod
Everyone loved Rod Roddy better. would you consider wearing a flat? No one like Rod Roddy better than Bob Barker?
That's why he got breast cancer. No one cared for him.
I loved Rod Roddy.
Oh, did you hear what Joe said?
That was your favorite part of their show?
You think Rod
Rod
Roddy
Roddy.
deserved getting breast
remembered
cancer?
him.
I feel God gave it to him on purpose.
Because of his jackets?
Because he was terror, he was useless to the show.
That is shocking to me, Joe, that you would say that. Rod Roddy made the fucking show, buddy.
How the fuck can you sit there with a serious face and survive cancer and tell me he didn't deserve
I haven't
it?
survived cancer yet. I still got it.
Oh, you still got it? All right, cool.
You're
You're like Rod Rowdy.
Don't
then.
get ahead of yourselves here.
You're
I
like
think
Rod
he loves
Roddy.
Rod Roddy so much.
All right, I think you're Rod Rowdy. All right.
I like Rod Roddy, but I'm
Your
like,
brother's Bob Barker. All right.
Joe better get
But
himself
Rod,
checked.
did he really die of breast cancer? Rod Roddy?
I have no idea.
Rod Roddy, was he a confirmed bachelor?
Is it because I have tits?
One would assume.
That's because you're no good for the show.
Paul said the best joke.
We missed Paul's beautiful setup joke.
Roasted me.
I hope people at home
Oh
got
my
what
God.
Paul just did a joke because it was hilarious. Did you guys get it?
I was watching AJ.
I caught
AJ's
the tail
reaction
end.
was the best.
Oh, son of a bitch. I talked through that beautiful joke, Paul. I feel like a sack of shit, Paul. What you did was just deliver gold to the show to have your brother ruin it. The own host of the show ruined it, Paul. What you did was you set that man up and you nailed him with that joke. Did anyone hear it? Did anyone hear what he said? You heard it, right?
I heard it was awesome.
We can't recreate it, can we?
Joe,
MVP.
Joe's gonna.
Basically, it was beautiful.
gonna
You
go
can
in
go
the
back and
shower.
roll the tape. Shaz will, damn it, if we ever had the technology. But that's another theme through the last 300 weeks is that technology is something we chase. As soon as we figure it out, we make up something harder so we can't even understand it. And then we figure that out, and then we make it up harder again. And some of the best things that have ever happened to us over the last 300 shows has been listeners who have sent us feedback to tell us that we can't do something or that something is terrible that we're doing and we need to stop doing it. And each and every time that's happened, it's been a wonderful gift to make sure that we keep doing it and get better at it because we've never stopped any of the things they've told us to stop doing. And when they told us that we couldn't play drums on Live from the Dutch Hall,
Yeah.
do you remember that one?
Yep.
Sure, dude.
Totally.
Sticks right up my ass.
Chambers.
And now,
Fucking Chambers.
and now, I bet you they're eating their hat.
Yeah. You hear that?
Yeah, Kev. Yeah.
Anyways, guys, we do have to get to a segment we call feedback. We got feedback. We got feedback.
Motherfucking feedback.
Oh, whispery. Welcome to motherfucking feedback, everyone.
Claude.
I just want to thank everyone that's helped this segment by sponsoring us or helping by supporting our sponsors throughout the years. We need more pepperettes. We do need pepperettes, Norpac.
The beef people.
And because of that reason, Norpac.
You're the beef people.
Nope, that's the last one you'll give them, Paul.
Give me fucking pepperonis.
That's it. No more. Even if I say their name by accident, this show, that's the end of your support.
Okay.
I won't even say the name that can't be said until we get pepperettes. And Amazon, to a lesser extent, go to our website, click on the banners, give us money. But like, I don't really care about you, and you don't listen to me. So but I also the Cheese Lady and Yarmy Electric, Clean Flow, of course, greatest sponsor ever, Clean Flow. Van Dyke Party Services brought to you by Clean Flow, and a very new sponsor to our program, which we have this week.
What?
It's a new sponsor.
300, and we got a new one.
Yeah, on 300, they said they watched the Time Machine episode, and they said, this is when we want on fucking board.
The old
man."
time machine.
Did I say Time
Those
Machine?
machines will get tricky.
The Time Machine.
Easy for you.
Wait, no big deal. Easy for me to say. You remember when Steve had to say something in that vid? Did anyone watch that show?
Ombudsman.
No. Remember when you're up there and you're like, what was the word he stumbled on? Because I laughed.
Yeah, that was great.
And then
Fuck did he say?
Brandon kept it in, and it was still hilarious how Steve said it because he fucked it right up.
Yeah, I gotta go back and
God damn it. My memory to watch it. Anyone that wants to watch Steve fuck up, do it. And then me and Steve, I'd be laughing right now at Steve just like he laughed at me for my fuck up. And then we'd be even Steven.
Whoa.
But right now, he made me look stupid. So anyways, what was I saying? New sponsor. This one, I don't even know what the name of the company is yet, but it's me and Char's new company. Basically, what we're doing is we're marketing. Yeah, it is. It's me and your company.
All right.
We basically, we're marketing to middle-aged women, hopefully married women, you know. If you live anywhere, like we'll travel anywhere in the world, really. If your husband hasn't told you you're pretty in a while, you want to like go around a city with a bunch of dudes that promise not to try to fuck you? Let us maybe snuggle with you in the back of a taxi a little bit? Huh? We'll do it for nothing. We'll do it for nothing. Just ask the Barbie Mansion girls, you know? Just ask any, what are those, Virginia Beach girls?
VB.
Yeah. What Charles and I do, we're like eunuchs. We're like your gay friend, you know, that you can go around and shop with. We're not going to like make a move on you, you know? We are totally married as fuck and 100% unfuckable. Even husband approved. I don't know if any of the husbands have ever been jealous of us, Dave. Have they?
I doubt it.
If they were, that would be ridiculous. Our dicks are rendered useless.
I can't even imagine it.
Hey, you want to try? What are we going to call ourselves?
The
Oh, the Unfuckables. Call the Unfuckables.
Uncles assemble.
You can get us at livefromthedutchhall@gmail.com. The Unfuckables. We will.
Rock you. No, you will not.
No, we won't. But we'll tell you you're pretty while we're drinking with you.
Yeah.
And then maybe we'll fall asleep beside you on the ground or
We'll
something.
have a time, that's for sure.
You know what you're gonna keep? Arm's length.
We would appreciate you paying for a few fucking drinks, though. That's honestly the truth, right?
Yeah, it's like a non-escort escort.
I gotta tell you, I don't know if you noticed these shots up here,
I sure do.
but as I was giving my brother shit earlier in the show for not being a bartender, we did forget to give him credit for these. They were all porn.
Yeah.
porn. That's a Dutch Hall word.
They're all porn.
They're all porn. That's all I gotta say about them. They're all poured by my brother, and they're in the Barbie Mansion cups.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you, girls.
And Michael drank his before the show to limber up his pipes.
Thanks,
you know?
girls. Tip of the tongue, top of the teeth.
Dave, you gotta have one,
gotta have
otherwise
one.
you'll
Barbie
be ridiculed by
Come on.
your peers. I'll have a vodka.
Oh, I get two. Wow, celebrations for me. Hopefully I don't get a kill alarm.
Thank you.
Nice job on the opener today.
Hey, nice job by all
What
you
is this?
guys.
I'm not involved or my guests, eh? You motherfucker. Look at this bartender, eh? Anyways, I guess this
taking
shot
care
is
of number
for
one.
the band.
Fuck yeah.
Hey, cheers,
Hey.
man. Great jobs.
Let's hear it for the Nocturnal Missions 300 shows. Cheers to you guys. Seriously, it's been fun hanging out with you every week.
That's nice.
Now,
Now I made you a drink.
we did get one piece of feedback,
That one warmed
and
us
I
up.
shouldn't say that. We're going to read one piece of feedback this week. Sometimes I wish I didn't make you guys do that, you know, to be honest with you. How much does that bug you? Like,
Is it weird that, like, I'm sure I can speak for the rest of the band, that every time you hear that word, you just go ding ding ding?
yeah. And me too.
Stop.
You can't stop it. Like, once you train yourself to do something stupid, you will do that stupid thing forever, you know? Like,
Yeah.
oh, it's so
It's amazing
terrible.
how many times you hear that word in your daily activities.
Yeah. Especially if you live in corporate culture. Like,
Oh my God.
they must ask for feedback all the time. And I have had people say that they heard it in business meetings and stuff like that, and they just said that's what goes through their head, and
Oh,
just
like
from listening to this
listeners?
program. Yeah.
Perfect.
I had one guy that,
Brainwashing them.
yeah, we've screwed them up too. And we got, like, I remember even Susan B. one time, she said we got that Cheese Lady song stuck in her head for like a day and a half or something.
Yeah, it's
And
a
she
catchy
was
one.
cursing us about it, you know? And that's what we do.
It's true.
Some of what we do is so stupid, you just can't help but have it ring around in your head for so long. And that's the allure of our program to the people watching.
Yeah. You're welcome.
You are welcome.
You are welcome. Last week though, we got lots and lots of criticism, constructive and otherwise, from our audience. And I got to tell you, if you're a listener of our program on the audio platforms, like let's say you're listening on iTunes or a Podbean or what Spotify or whatever those things are, you're listening to that, and then you're like, this program is oh shit, I lost my whole thing.
The program is fucked.
Yeah, that program was pretty weird last week. You know, like that program was. It was. I'm worried for Pete and his state of mind. Is that what you were basically thinking? Michael's a tractor listener,
Yeah,
and
in
he
general.
wasn't here. He didn't know what was going on in the room.
The audio was a bit challenging to follow.
And then when you did you watch it on video?
I
Afterwards?
didn't watch the whole thing through, but I like clipped through it, and it all made a lot more sense
Yeah.
when I
Did you
saw the
wish-
different outfits.
Did you wish you were here?
I wish the whole time I'm like, fuck, I wish I knew the inside jokes, because you could see that you guys were laughing, but you had to be here to get it, right?
For sure.
If I had to
Turns out
guess.
you did.
Yeah, it turns
Turns
out you
out
did. Yep.
Paul provided feedback for the first time in a while. You said you loved it. Laughed in the room more than you ever did, right?
Yeah, Charters killed me.
I heard that from numerous insiders that Charters was on fire.
Well, that is the general consensus for the week was listeners struggled, viewers enjoyed the performance of one man, and that man is Dave the Rooster Charters.
Yay.
And then I just want to read one piece of feedback that we got from live from the Dutch Hall gmail.com. It says the award for best acting in a podcast drama. You notice he said drama too. I was preferring comedy, eh? He said Dave Charters. Phenomenal performance on last week's show. Totally stole Steve's thunder. Hey, Steve, put yourself on the poster, invent a fucking time machine. This fucking clot takes your thunder. What do you think about that?
That's fine.
Pull up your goddamn socks. What? German? That's what this guy's telling you.
What
That's
was the adjective again? Can you say it again? The adjective they used to describe my performance?
It was phenomenal.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
Did I say it wrong?
No, you said it right. I just wanted to hear it again.
You want that you're phenomenal?
Yeah.
Like AJ Styles?
Keep it coming.
Hey, Charters, you know what? I agree with this guy. You know who it is? Former listener of the week, Kevin Van Dungeon. Let's just say it.
Oh,
Yeah, I
Kevin,
think
thanks,
we're
Kevin.
right. Kevin, you know what?
Smart man.
Normally, that would win you listener of the week, but this week, no, not this week. Susan B is, because she gives us cookies.
You're the listener of the week. This is your week. And it might as well be your year, Susan.
Van Dungeon, I like what you're doing, the communication that you're giving us through feedback.
It's phenomenal.
But it's no cookies. I'll tell you that.
It's no cookies.
No cookies. Charters was that
no
was one of the
cream puff.
most. You behave as though like the fact that you didn't tell me anything you were gonna do on last week's show, and then just did like ridiculous like. It threw me off in the best of ways. Like I loved every minute of it. That was the favorite show by far that we've done. And not even. What?
94 Eddie Vedder killed me, man.
Oh, when he was going, brr. Time travel. Brr. I didn't. I really enjoyed Char's performance. He stepped up. What he did was he took the bull by the horns. He went in full 60s, like he had his hair all combed forward and in the headband, like he looked in the 60s. He went to go buy cigarettes at the gas station with that look or whatever, chocolate bars, whatever he's eating.
Did you get him?
And the girl sees him because he goes there every week before he comes here to get something. Yeah. And the girl's like, I think I recognize you. And he's like,
Do I know you? I'm like, I come in here once in a while.
He's totally in like a ridiculous costume and nowhere near a holiday where it would warrant such a thing.
Just playing it straight.
There's no like Comic-Con or like anything. Just Dave walking in buying smokes for his own amusement doing
It was
it.
entertaining for me.
It's not on video. He's not filming it to show it on YouTube or like to share it on social media. Just for your own goddamn amusement, eh?
Yeah.
I love that. That's my favorite thing. He's fucking out of his
Last week
head.
was fun. It was fun. I was on vacation, eh?
Vacation Dave.
Vacation Dave is my favorite, man.
That's a good time.
Yeah. If you take Dave on a holiday with you, and this is why our business plan is really going to work with that, like married women,
Unfuckables.
the Unfuckables business. we
DP
got.
Enterprises.
Yeah. That is going to work because charters is fucking fun. When you get him out where he's on anywhere that's not home and you take Dave there, it doesn't matter if it's fucking some shithole town in the middle of nowhere. He doesn't care. It's not where he lives, so he's excited like a little puppy, and he finds out about everybody else's story and introduces himself and makes tons of friends and gets all boozed up. You're good for a good long night of drinking,
Oh yeah.
right?
Maybe a couple in a row even.
And you don't fuck, as it turns out, which is helpful to married women, right?
Those days are long gone.
His penis is rendered useless.
It's all shriveled up.
It's even tucked up inside.
Yeah, it does kind of look like a vagina now if you look at Dave when he goes, because of his pubic hair being so bulbous and like massive, you know, it covers up what's going on about Dave, you know. Is that it for feedback? If you guys want to keep listening to our program and sharing it, if you want to tell us anything about what to do, and we do appreciate even the people that said they didn't like last week's show. We know it. We're trying to do more of an audio show this week. There's no visual bits at all, so this is for those guys. We're making it up to you for the 300th.
We do love the feedback though, good and bad. Keep it coming.
Yeah, I love bad, actually. Like, I secretly love bad stuff. Like, even I've been trashed a few times. Like,
AJ went for another cream puff.
Yeah.
yeah.
Veteran of the show.
Sorry to interrupt you, Pete. Bad is better than good.
What do you mean? You're never interrupting when you're talking about the who's eating what around here. Because listeners are just like fucking sitting by their computer right now. Or viewers are like looking at it like, who's eating the cookies? You know? Charles is there. Charles is there taking care of this shit. He's gonna help us all out. AJ's eating a cream puff.
Play by play.
Hey, fuck Pete, fuck your story. Let's go into AJ's cream puff eating. Right now, breaking story,
How was it?
cream puff. Hey, give him the mic, Paul. What are you missing out on this shit? He's eating a cream puff.
Oh, he's choking on it.
God damn it.
Oh,
He's
God.
a Heimlich. Give it to him. It's good, right? Thumbs up if it's good. Blink
It's
twice
amazing.
if you're not dying.
It's so good. It's worth dying for.
See? Charles, that was a good break in the show that you did.
That's what I did.
Yeah. Thank you, Dave.
That was a phenomenal break.
You think people are gonna write in next week about? Remember when Dave like just fucking broke into the AJ's eating a fucking cream puff
That was
stuff?
gold.
That was gold. You should do that every week. Charles is the best. That's what we're gonna get from Kevin Van Dungeon next week, I think, or not. So how long, Jordan? Can you tell us how long we're in this show? 'Cause I didn't look at the clock.
How do I have left?
Okay, cool.
Holy
We do have a game to end the show, and I don't want to miss it because it's a fun game.
It's going by.
But before we do that, so we need to talk to our guests that came all this way to talk to us. And I do have some legit questions for you guys. AJ Bate and Joe Botello and Sherry G.
Botello.
Both.
Botello. I've been on the show 23
I
times.
love mean drunk
Wait,
Pete.
wait.
It's the best.
Wait.
He's so mean tonight. I love it.
Wait, I want to. Botello.
Yeah. But you're
What do I say? The TH?
Botello.
Maybe I got a lift.
You can tell that you
Shakespearean.
can tell that Pete's losing interest. So like, yeah, I don't give a fuck.
No.
I'll pronounce it however I want it.
Is there any other of your comedian friends here? No, I brought two people with me.
Well, I just have to ask you one question. How does Jason Allen say your name? How does Jason
But you
Allen
just have
say
to
your
give
name?
some backstory.
yeah, what's that?
Jason
Doesn't
Allen.
he have a lisp?
Yes, he has a list.
Yeah, then it would be Joe Botello.
You're not Jason Allen.
Well, he's allowed to call you that. Why can't I?
No. Jason doesn't even address him
Yeah,
by
he doesn't.
name. He's like,
Oh, he
you,
doesn't?
I'll say
some-
you,
you
fat
there,
fuck.
over there, fat person.
Oh, he
Yeah.
doesn't like Joe
Doesn't
at
like
all
me,
because
no.
he's the lesser
There's
human.
very few people that like Joe.
Oh, really?
Not too many.
Joe, is that true?
Hey,
I'm hanging out with the two people that do like me. That's about
Is it down to us?
it. No, AJ and Sherry. That's it.
Oh no, you're
Your brother hates me.
Why
the
would you
band
take?
hates
Why would
me.
you take on that burden? You're good. I'm
Oh.
jealous of you. You want to swap?
Why are you
places?
jealous of him?
No, I'm out. I'm out.
Yeah.
No,
you
Pete,
know.
you've always Pete's always liked me. I don't know why the band hates me all of a sudden, but
I like
mean,
you,
All of a
Joe.
sudden, it's
Thanks,
been
man.
pretty
I'm
consistent.
not normally in the band. I like you, Joe.
Hey, I love you, Brad.
Well, it's so
can't speak.
pathetic. They have to everybody like, I like you, Joe.
No.
Just so he
Yeah,
can
Brandon's
sleep
too
at-
nice.
Just so he can sleep at night. Like,
No,
thank
I can
guys.
sleep
No.
just fine. You know I can sleep because I've slept with you and I slept just fine.
Wow.
Okay.
All right.
Let's go. I got one question for you guys.
I'd
This
like
is
Joe-
obvious now. Anyone listening to this program or watching it are going to see that Joe's unbearable to be around,
No,
right?
that's not true.
And,
That's not true. Don't.
So you two went out east, travel with him. On how long was the trip out east for you guys?
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
2 weeks. That's all it
2
was.
weeks.
It seemed like forever. Because I was so jealous the whole time that you guys were doing it, that
Why
it
were
seemed
you
like
jealous?
forever. Because I want to do it. I don't want to
Well,
see
I
you
mean,
doing
I
it.
mean, stop not having sex when you go and come out with us. And be
and-
a man, grow a sack. Let's
like,
go.
But like honestly though, like to be in all seriousness,
Yeah.
to do anything 300 times this successfully is a great job, and congratulations, man. It was really I'm
Yeah,
very proud of you.
thank you, AJ.
Yeah.
Can you learn from that, Joe? See
Nah,
how polite that
yeah.
is as a guest? You know what?
I've only listened to it like the 26 times I've been on.
You
That's
know what
all.
AJ is? You'll learn something if you listen to anyone that's listened to a lot of our shows. And I'll tell you something. Mike Bowe, you listen to a lot of them, don't
I
you?
listen to a lot of them.
How many? What percent have you listened to the whole show?
Of shows?
Yeah,
95.
that's how many Mike listened to. And I'll tell you right now. And he's only one listener. He's only one listener. There are listeners that absolutely love Joe Batello's appearances on our show. They love Joe Batello's appearances on our show. And I know them by name. I can picture them in my head. I can see these people who talk to me that love Joe's appearances on my show.
They don't love
There's
Joe's.
something wrong with them. Like there's something different about
I
it.
Yeah,
met.
you know,
We
it's-
met 2 of your fans in Halifax.
I know. I can't believe it.
We met 2 fans. Yeah, we
Well,
were
their
partying.
dad. They weren't fans.
AJ
Their
was,
dad.
Well, yeah, their dads were a fan. AJ was too hammered and crying about his girlfriend while we were there.
Aw.
I miss
Jesus
her.
Christ,
Nyam, nyam,
man.
nyam,
Oh my-
nyam. I love you so much. I'm not even looking at these girls rubbing on my dick. Anyways,
You see what he does? You see what he like?
no, you're a
That's
good
a bad
boyfriend.
friend.
No.
Bad
Just
friend.
I'm gonna be honest. Nobody wants to say this. I'll say it. Pete tries so hard to build momentum, and just Joe takes a hot log on it, and you have to restart over again. Like 2 girls rubbing on his dick, and I go, "You go ahead, do something with that, Pete."
No,
Now,
but I was
why
trying
would
to
you
tell
put
a
him? Why
was
would
trying
you
to tell a
put him
story.
in this position? He's building a momentum. Don't be creepy about it. Keep doing your thing, Pete.
Okay,
I'm
let me
gonna-
tell this. He asked me a question, AJ. I don't know.
And you did more than answering.
I
it.
forgot
No,
what
but
I
I did
asked a
say
long
the
time
question
ago.
was two people in Halifax out of nowhere. They're like, we're from a town that you probably never heard of.
Right.
And they said that where it was, and I'm like, oh my God. you
They
know
die.
Pete? They said Delhi. I'm like, do you know Pete Van Dyke? They're like, yeah, we know Pete Van Dyke. Our dad loves his show.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
And he sent, I heard their dad. There were a couple of girls that were
Yeah.
traveling in Halifax. Their dad's a fan of the show.
Huge fan of the show. Loved it. Yeah, we talked
Yeah.
afterwards. They loved it.
Yeah, he sent me stuff on his. I saw him on his
Well,
story.
I sent you stuff that I couldn't post because people watch it, but I sent you like exclusive stuff that no one can watch.
Yeah, but this is confirmed with video footage,
Yeah.
is what I mean. It's not just some Joe story made
Yeah.
up out of his ass. It's a real
It was
thing.
a real thing.
You
Yeah.
documented it.
I did.
And so that I could believe
very
that it's
impressed.
true. Because I would normally, if you didn't send me that footage, I wouldn't believe it. That someone actually knows who I am, and you ran into them.
Yeah.
Halfway across the country.
was
That would be
amazing.
an amazing thing because it's very, very rare.
You were part at that moment. You were on tour with us.
What do you think, guys? This is a good question that these guys have led us into. I'm interested to see what the band says about this. In all the time you've done the Dutch Hall program, what has been the time where you've been like the most tickled that someone's recognized you from the show, or like where you felt like it's a real like where someone knows about it other than just us doing it here? Like, because really this show, if you haven't ever been to see a live from the Dutch Hall, these guys learn a song in one evening. Like they show up and learn a song that they open the show with. And I would say like a lot of those early ones, it was like 50-50, you know? If you do a good job, or we would just stink it up, but then move on with the show and have a good time.
Yeah, now we get sometimes we get warning. So we like that day kind of know.
Yeah, but we used to sit down in the like pool shed and then just be like, guys, what do you want to sing tonight? And they're like, I don't know, we're thinking? And we go on YouTube and just play songs until they would say, okay, maybe that one, you know, and then they would try it until we had enough of a version of it to go on with the opener.
Yeah, that's when we started. We didn't play full songs. We just played. Like
Yeah, you'd play like the first
Half.
verse and maybe a chorus and then get out of it because that's all we could figure out, you know. And so if you listen back, you'll see that progression to where we've grown over that time, which has made the show so much fun to be able to sit there, come every week, and then be able to see that we're getting better as a group, and to see like the band, like Jesus, you guys, I seriously, my brother and I feel like we're sitting here like those kings from Gladiator, you know, that are just like, we're gonna send out a text early in the day. Play this Arkells song for my pleasure, please. You know? I need
Is
this.
that what it is? Is that what
Yes.
you do?
Me and Paul do that. We sit there and say, what would we like for our fancy this evening? Make the boys play Arkells.
Maiden, get me some grapes.
Yeah. We do kind of feel spoiled. Like, he does not serve a drink. He does his best to just get through the opener and never speak again. And then sometimes he used to take a nice long nap into the microphone, actually on the program.
I remember one time in the shed, he actually laid down on the couch and fell asleep. Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
yeah.
There was times where he showed so zero respect for our show. Like, he actually, I thought he hated our show, but he just likes coming for the Nocturnal Emissions, and that's why he's here. And he's like, I'm not giving you a fucking drink, and I'm going home as soon as the band's done. I thought that's was eventually where he's going, because that's all you like, right?
Yeah, it's the best part.
But you feel guilty, though, about leaving.
Yeah,
And last week you had a good time. You got to admit.
Fun last week. Yeah.
Last week was fun. I haven't answered your question, Pete,
What?
about when did you have a fan or someone at the show like surprise you?
Yeah.
And I'll tell you when it was. It was at Michael's party that he had last year. Michael had a party last year where we played there, and then Michael's band played. But there was a guy. There was a guy at the party who came up to me and thanked me for being a part of the show, and he said the show helps him get through his drive to work every week, and that it's like good for I don't know. It was like good for people's like soul, basically. The show, listening to it.
That's what he
Enjoyed it?
said?
Yeah, that was like the gist of it.
That was the gist of it?
Yeah,
Why are you laughing so much, AJ?
Yeah.
I swear.
Because the guy probably said it very emotionally.
He did.
And
He
you
was
just
like-
water it down to,
he was
I
like-
don't know, something like spirit or something.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
He said like it fucking
Who
changed
gives a
his
fuck
life or
about
some
that guy?
fucking
Like,
bullshit.
he probably was
No,
like,
you're right.
he was like a tear in his eye. He was like, thank you so much.
that's more what it was like.
Yeah, and you're just
Yeah.
like, I don't know, like you were so disinterested in how much effect the show has on it.
Yeah.
It's like, it felt like you were making fun of him for even like.
Well, that's what it's like. Like, it's uncomfortable.
It's weird,
I think
right?
I've had the same thing as Dave, where like people are like, "Oh, it really gets me through like my Friday mornings." Like, thanks a lot, and it's like, really? Like, but I listen to other podcasts that do the same thing, so I get it.
Yeah.
Because it really does get me through like
Oh, yeah.
fucking long days on the tractor. There is, including this one, gets me through those days.
Yeah.
Like,
Or I've heard
Yeah.
people say like when I hear the theme song at the start of the show, it just makes me feel comfortable. Like all of a sudden, I just feel like, okay, this is good. I know something's happening now.
And you wrote that, Dave.
Well,
Kind of. It's like Dave took a shit on the
Not a big
ground, and then people just kept like picking up the shit and like adding like
flowers in it.
decorations to the shit until it didn't resemble shit anymore. And actually, someone just eventually took the shit out of it.
remember that
And
time?
then
Remember that
just
time?
kept all the good stuff.
Remember that time I did take a shit on the ground and I sent you a picture of it?
Yeah, he did. His parents also took a picture of a shit he took on the ground. And one of the first times I went to Dave's house to see him, his parents brought me like in to see the photo album, and there's a picture of like a 3-year-old Dave who took a shit on the kitchen floor, and he's just like pointing at the shit, and his mom's like, "Oh, get the camera. This is a priceless moment," you know. So then she shows me like 10 years later or whatever, or
terrible.
like 15 years
That
later.
scarred me, man.
Just a coil.
What you're not talking about is how I was crying in the photo because I was so disappointed with myself that I didn't make it to the toilet.
Well, honestly, you shouldn't shit on the kitchen floor, dude. It's not a fucking surprise to you, is it? Like, oh my God, my mom was
puts that
disappointed
in a
in me
photo
that I
album?
didn't fucking shit in the toilet. Like, of course, you're a fucking idiot. You should shit in the toilet next time, right? It's not even like you're like, oh, think about my perspective. I'm too stupid to shit in a toilet. Like, yeah, I'm thinking about it, and it's hilarious.
Jesus Christ, I had pull-ups on, man. I was like learning.
They had pull-ups in the
Like, oh,
60s.
there's a photo op.
That's two, buddy. You were redeeming yourself. That's two in one show. You were gonna fucking take it to the top. You're coming back every week, Joe. Yeah, exactly. Make sure that the haters know what Joe thinks of them. Fuck them.
Joe, I've liked you ever since. Remember when Pete had his surgery on his throat?
And you hosted, yeah.
Remember that show I hosted and you were there?
Yeah.
And
I think Doug.
Doug Coney was there. And you guys really supported me on that show. It was hard to be on that side of the table, I'll tell you.
That was
I
good.
would I would not want to do it every week, but you guys were you kept doing a bunch of callbacks and stuff, and I just remember I've liked you ever since that show.
Oh, thank you, man. No,
I
I've
don't
always
like most of the things that come out of your mouth.
I mean, you're a good person. Most good people don't. You're a good man. You're a good man.
I
Pete's
love
a piece
this,
of
man.
shit. That's why he loves me. So.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. I have a despicable sense of humor, you know? It's not even like I felt no one would enjoy it but me. You know, it turns out I'm it turns out I have ADD because my wife, she's put on this program on PBS, and it was about adult ADD.
Oh.
AA.
That's not a thing.
No, that's what I have. She's puts it on. It's a PBS show about adult ADD with that guy that was on the Red Green show. He's like the one that played the nerd or
Red
whatever.
Green?
No, the nerdy one.
What was his name?
He was in Second City and shit. Anyways, that dude's talking about ADD, and then
Totally.
Harold. And my wife kept turning up the volume and looking at me, like turning up the volume and looking at me, because she's like, hey, this is you. This is all fucking you. And they started describing me to a T, and it was like horrifying.
Did you go get checked out for ADD?
I already got drugs in me for it, but I don't have enough, as it turns out. And but yeah, I have it. Turns out. Have you ever been in a room where you can hear every conversation in the room and understand what's going on every TV, but you cannot talk to the person that's right in fucking front of you? You know,
Not to
that
that
is
point,
one of
but-
those things.
Every
That's
Thursday.
me everywhere.
Yeah, and guess what happens with people with ADD, Joe?
What?
They go to comedy clubs. They get up on stage and they say whatever the fuck they want.
It's called courage.
In order to get a reaction for the adrenaline rush alone, in order that they can feel like they're alive. Because otherwise, if they don't have chaos, they feel like they're dying. That's ADD.
No, it's not. I'm an artist.
Hey Joe, if you have a guy who's like if you're bombing,
yeah.
like where you're like we've all bombed, right?
Oh, that.
AJ's like, yes.
If you're bombing and you get off the stage when you're bombing,
Yeah.
do you feel worse than if you were killing?
No.
You don't.
Why would
That's
I
what I
feel
mean.
Worse.
No, but I mean that's what I mean. That's the sickness. It doesn't
Well,
matter if
why
you
would I
kill
feel
or
bad?
you bomb. Like as long as you're up on stage and you
happens.
get the reaction
Yeah.
from the
Joe
crowd.
has this thing.
Like
when
the
he-
crowd all booed you or the crowd
I
all
did a set where I murdered for 5 minutes, literally murdered for 5 minutes, and then silence for 7.
The
like
comic,
in the same set.
the comic that was gonna
This is a
go
great story,
after him for the first 5 minutes.
Got
You know,
nothing.
the first 5 minutes that he was killing, the comic looked at me. He goes, "I don't know how I'm gonna follow this." But then he started bombing, and he looked at me and he goes, "I don't know how to follow this." Like it was the same thing. It
I was
just
covered in
the
sweat.
That
instead
way,
of
the other way.
positive, it was just the negative.
It was so hard.
Joe does this thing that bothers me so much. Even when he bombs, he goes out off stage and he looks at me and goes, "That wasn't so bad, right?" I'm like, "Dude, that was horrendous. That was like terrible."
bothered by me doing well.
There was
yesterday.
one woman that asked for a refund.
Yeah,
There was one woman because he would not stop talking about
Hemorrhoids.
eating hemorrhoids.
Yeah.
So you imagine that.
You know what? That's one woman, and show was sold out. 80 people.
Yeah, well,
one
we-
person didn't agree with me. I think a true artist speaks to his own audience. Only a sellout speaks to everyone like you, AJ. You fucking hack.
those weren't your
You see
people.
like how much
those weren't your
fake
people.
You see
That's
how much
aggressive,
fake
Joe.
emotion was in that? Like it wasn't even genuine. Like he didn't even
No.
believe what he was saying.
No.
AJ's
And
a
he
wonderful
tried to make
comic.
it look like he sold out that room.
Yeah, like he was like,
Dude, that's a good host move. What you were you hosting?
No, I was doing no.
No, he's
What?
headlining.
No, I was doing a set. No, I wasn't headlining.
You were middling? You were
no, I was just
embroidering.
one of the. I was like the second act, I think. Yeah.
so you weren't. How many
That
acts?
was the only. What?
I wasn't
like-
headlining.
there
I was
four.
hemorrhoiding.
No. I hosted.
Who did you have to follow?
Who did I followed a guy talking about taking tampons out
No,
of
it
his-
was me that you had to follow.
No, I followed you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I did great for the first 5 minutes, though.
Ah,
like literally
point
great.
in
It was really
case.
great. It was really good.
That's like, God damn it.
It was good. It was. I mean,
As the evidence is all around you, Joe.
yeah.
we're all
Well, I think
showing
we
it to
erased
you.
the other 7 minutes of this.
Oh man, there's no more pleasure in life than watching one of your friends eat shit on stage. It's the best fun you can ever have. And it's only a friend that you've seen succeed with that joke, with that set of jokes, where you know they're good jokes, you know there's a funny guy, you know that there's a guy that can do his profession, he's good at what he does, but the particular crowd he runs into that night fucking hates his guts, eh?
AJ
And
got mad at me
that is
yesterday.
always hilarious to watch, you know, when you get a crowd that just doesn't get your buddy.
Well, you just like see the glitter of hope in his eyes when he's about to tell the joke. He's like, "Oh, wait until they get a load of this jab," and then he like fucking says it, and it gets nothing, and then like you just see their eye, like their pupils, like all turn black. And like
Yeah.
just get really sad.
Yeah.
And they just start like trying everything to keep it together, but like they want to cry so hard.
You ever go up to a comic after their set and say good set, but you know it wasn't?
No.
Come on, never have
Never,
you said
no.
good set to a guy when it was like that was a mediocre set at best.
I don't even look at a comic that bombs.
No, not bombs. Just had like a fucking so-so set, and you say good set because it's just like a habit thing, saying like, "Hey, buddy, like I appreciate that you're taking the
I've never
risk."
done that. No.
So if I was
Have
to
you
go,
ever heard me tell you you've had a good set?
every time I've ever performed, I've heard
Never.
that. I wish I could.
I don't think I've ever said, "Hey, Pete, good
You
set."
gotta laugh. You gotta laugh from Jordan and from Shazma in the fucking directing booth for that one. You gotta laugh from Shazma. You're on fire in this show,
Listen,
Joe.
this
This is your best show you've ever done.
Thank you. Can I just confront AJ about yesterday? Yesterday, I had a really good set. AJ got mad at me for humbly walking off stage. He got mad at me for being humble.
Because he was doing fake humble. He was more like he had like he was like, yeah, guys, that's just what I do.
It is what I do.
And like what bugged me even more that he took a sip of his beer as he's like walking like he's fucking Willie Nelson, like just after he crushed it, like he's like, yeah, guys, I don't know what to tell you. There's just in my blood to succeed all the time, and it bugged me so much. And I called him out on it. And then earlier this morning, he called me. He goes, "Yeah, you were right. That's what I was trying to do." I'm like, "Yeah, I know, because I know you."
Yeah,
He was
exactly.
pretending to be. Hey guys, I don't know what to tell you. It's just like
Just too good.
I'm fucking funny as hell.
Joe does what Joe knows what to do. You know, it's
I've been
what
around Canada
yeah.
doing this.
I think it's the best that someone can hold you in check. But when you do get those moments where you're killing, like you feel like you're on top.
It's
eh?
a great. That's why we do it.
That's
every
why
night. It's the
you
greatest
eat
thing
shit
ever.
all those times you eat shit, right? So that you get
nothing
those
better,
one
man.
time where it works out. You know.
Think about the best orgasm you had, and think of like the best set. I would rather have the best set than have an orgasm.
What?
Dude, orgasm is easy.
All right, guys.
Orgasm is easy.
that's
Everyone
a wrap.
here has had your brother has multiple orgasms, and he has just chin hair. He doesn't even have a mustache. and he
Yeah,
has
but
orgasms.
Brandon, you do.
But how many of us have had standing ovations and like kill? Only a few of us, and that feels way better than orgasm. Your brother's never been applauded for anything.
Is that your?
Look at him.
Is that your measure of success? Is a standing ovation?
Yeah. Isn't it for you?
Have you ever had one?
Yeah.
Where?
One.
Ask him, please ask him where. Ask
I
him.
need the story. I
I
need
did
the
a
story.
Portuguese
Tell me the
show.
He
whole
did
story.
it on Portuguese.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're Rack and
still.
Q. Rack
No,
and
no,
Q.
no. I don't care, man.
It doesn't matter. It was a standing ovation, AJ. If you decide to talk about your background,
I agree with Joe. If you went to a fucking stacked Libyan hall,
Yeah.
you
They
know,
didn't even have me. They won't have me.
no.
it's because you have premarital
because
sex.
because you don't agree with their.
No, they won't have me.
You'd have to go to like a bard from Libya called.
Underground.
It's a very specific place.
Yeah, you have to go to. That's what his Portuguese hall was. A very specific place.
Yeah, but like a bard living. It's like
Is your family from the Azores?
Yeah, my family's from the Azores.
Which is like Newfoundland to Portugal.
Yeah,
right?
they're dumb as
Yeah,
fuck.
they're
That's what I'm trying
inbreds,
to
yeah,
say.
all of
They're
them.
all
That
inbred. Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. You got it now, guys. Everyone cool?
As
Like-
if that was like the evidence that you needed to
matter.
confirm it. Just one look at him.
No,
I don't look inbred. What about me looks inbred?
That's actually not. I love the Azores. Benfica? Huh?
Then, well, Sporting, my dad likes. That's who they loved.
Not
Sporting.
Benfica?
No,
Thing,
Benfica,
Lisbon.
no.
Oh, then I disagree with your dad.
Yeah, so do I. That's why I don't see him.
Oh, well, good. We're on the same page. Benfica?
Benfica.
Now we're back, Joe.
Ding, 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 ding.
You guys want to play a show to end this game? Or
Yes,
a
let's
game to end this show?
Just a quick show.
All right. Ready? These are names that we pulled out of the archives of history called the internet. And I'm going to either tell you a name of a racehorse or a rock band. And you have to say which they are. Okay, ready? Bofa these nuts. Bofa these nuts.
Are you sure it's rock band? Can it be like a rap
It's just
gang?
a band. Yeah, it's just a
I'm gonna
band.
go
I'll say
band.
like a musical artist. A musical. No, it's not a. Yeah, it's a band name. It's a band,
Band
name.
name.
Do
One
horses have
band.
do horses have nuts?
Yeah, racehorses would be not
That big old,
gelded.
I know they got a big old dong, but do they have a big set of nuts?
Yeah, if you cut their nuts off, they don't run as fast. You want to know why?
So it's not a good
Because you cut their
racehorse
fucking
name.
nuts off. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go with hip hop artist.
It's a band.
Band name.
Also going with Brandon's answer.
You're incorrect. It is a racehorse.
Oh.
Bofa D's nuts. He's got his nuts. He's running fast.
Damn
That's
it.
what I'm saying. All right. How about this one? A midget hand job.
That's a
Midget
band.
hand
That's gotta be a
job.
band.
Is that your band?
Huh? I would love that band, man. Like, I mean, if that was a band name, if it is a band name, like I'm not going to give away the answer, but if it was a band name,
Because you said if it was a band name, I'm going to go with horse.
no, it is a band name. You're wrong. I fucking fucked you over mentally
did.
there.
My mind is in a bottle.
How about this one? Sus cunts.
Spell it.
Band.
That's a band.
Horse.
SUSSCUNTS.
Is it from Australia?
I think they
That,
are.
that makes a difference.
I think
They
it
love
is
their
from
cuts.
Australia. No, it's New Zealand. It's New Zealand.
It's New Zealand.
That's a band.
For real.
That's a band.
Yeah, it's not a band. It's a band. Yeah, I gave it away because no, I'm not gonna go like that horse is from New Zealand, man. I fucking saw that horse like fucking Bonnaroo, man.
That damn cunt horse.
Yeah. Okay, how about this one? Who farted?
Horse.
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 Why? Why do you guys all say horse so quickly?
Terrible band.
I can just picture the guy like announcing the race, like, who farted coming up the rear? three furlongs back. Who farted? He's coming up strong.
Well, once you know how it's spelled, you're gonna know for sure which one it is. It's who farted. Hoof. Spelled hoof hearted. Hoof hearted.
What a play on words.
Yeah. I actually gave a real tip of the cap to hoof.
That's just
Hearted.
brilliant.
You know the old man that owns those horses just laughs every
Every
time.
time, yeah.
Every time.
Oh, yeah, he does.
Kiss the anus of a black cat.
What?
Kiss the anus of a black cat.
That's got to be a band.
Band.
Tour
Yeah,
93.
that's a goth band for sure.
It is a band. You're right. Correct. I guess this is getting too easy. How about this one? F and X.
That's a band.
Band.
That is a horse.
It's probably a band too.
Panty raid.
Band.
Horse.
Both.
Not a cat, but a llama.
Horse.
Horse.
It's a horse.
That doesn't even make sense.
Satan's almighty penis.
I gotta say horse.
It is a band. How about machine gun fellatio?
Band.
Horse.
It is a band. And but a fucking wicked band name, eh? Machine Gun Fellatio. Fuck, man, I love that one. Flat Drunk.
Horse.
It is a horse. I didn't know that would be that easy. Harass.
Horse.
Also a horse, yeah.
Pete's amazed by it. He's like, wow, even though I wrote it down,
I wouldn't
it's
get that
so-
one,
still,
yeah, yeah.
even when I read it, it still amazes me.
Did I do My Wife Knows Everything?
No.
It's a horse. Yes, it is. My wife knows everything is a horse. Yeah, it's a cuck horse. Yeah, you know what that horse does? Yeah, yeah. Just tell me when I can do what I gotta do. And then I'll do it for you. And then when you let me please myself. Yeah. My wife's my best friend too, Joe. Yes, she is. You want to know why? None of my other friends let me put my penis inside of them, Joe. No.
Joe would.
Oh.
Laugh because you're encouraging him.
Anyways, that's our 300th show. And we are very proud of it, believe it or not. I can't even believe it, but we have gotten through a lot of weeks together. Thank you for everyone that's even spent 1 week with us here at the Dutch Hall. Thank you to everyone that supported us, gave us gifts. Let's hear it for Bailey Adcock, who gave us $50 to say "Stay awesome." You know, like that was a nice thing she did for us.
Thanks, Bailey. That is
and
awesome.
she should got listener of the week too. But you know what, Susan B, those fucking cream puffs don't come free. I'll tell you that one time. So Bailey, just a tough week for you. And and if you'd like to give us feedback, please do it live from the Dutch Hall at gmail.com, or you can go to Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, any of those things, and look for Dutch Hall or Live from the Dutch Hall, and you'll find us. Until next week, we will see you next Thursday. Here's the 300 more. You know we did more than MASH? More than MASH? More than...
Better than MASH.
Yeah. And you know, we have no laugh track anymore.